guys, Kelly here, the shrinking teacher, and I'm coming to you with my update, and I just realized I have no idea what week it is, so I will put it in the title below when I get done. So anyway, I hope you're having a great week. I kind of gave myself a challenge last week and also did my 5-month skin flick video this past weekend, and kind of gave you an update on how that's going. So I am very proud of myself. One of my big goals this week was to not get on the scale for a whole week. And I had kind of psyched myself out about it all week. 2-3 days in, I was good. And then after, day 4, 5, 6, I was really antsy about wanting to get on the scale. But I succeeded. I kept that promise to myself. And I did not get on the scale until Thursday. And just to be transparent and honest, I got on the scale and was initially pissed off. I made some promises to myself last week to make nutritionally, and I kept most of those promises to myself, not all of them 100%. I'll get into them here in a minute. But I really put forth a valiant effort this week, and I was 101 last week, and I got on the scale, or excuse me, I was 201, y'all, my numbers are shot, 201.1, and I got on the scale with all intention of being under 200 pounds. I got up, I went to the bathroom, I had on a t-shirt and underwear, and that was it. And I went to weigh myself, and I was 200.2. And I immediately shot myself in the foot and was like, oh, you did such a terrible job, it wasn't good enough, your best wasn't good enough. And I started beating myself up. And I then went and stripped down to absolutely nothing, totally bare naked, and peed again, and went and weighed again, and I was 199.6. So the shrinking teacher has made it into Wonderland, and it was almost like a really big letdown because I was so mad about not being under 200 that when I was under 200, it was just like, well, yeah, of course I'm under 200, and I couldn't really enjoy the glory of being in Wonderland. So I am 199.6, which made for a 1.5 pound loss last week. It still wasn't great. Of course I'll take what I can get, but I really felt like I should have done more than that. So I don't know, y'all. I'm just in a bummy place with where I am weight loss wise. So let me kind of go over the promises I made to myself last week and kind of tell you how I did with each of them. So my first one was to get in excess of 100 grams or 100 ounces of water each day. I did this most every day. It was usually I was getting my last little bit of the 64 ounces in, or I said 100. Oh my goodness, do I need to refilm? I'm not going to refilm. I'm just going to keep going, and y'all can forgive me since you love me so much, and I love you guys so much. I promised myself to get more than 64 ounces of water in, and as I was getting my last bottle of 32 ounces in, I would, most nights I was diligent to go and get me another just glass of water to top it off, to make sure that I had my full, made it to 64, 70 ounces of water. A couple of days I probably got in the 80, but I at least went over the 64 ounce mark. The second thing is I did try to up my protein this week. There were several days this week I did get 100 grams. There were several days I got at least 90 grams. There were a couple days I got like 80, 85, 88, which I still feel good about. There was one day that I did not look at my Fitness Pal correctly, and I had my nutrients on the week mode instead of the day mode, and I thought I was good, and I wasn't, and I only got like 65, 70 grams that day. So that was just a flub on my part. I thought I had more than I did, which means my overall did not end up averaging for as 90. I think I had on average 88 grams of protein a day, which is still really good. I did do really good this week with eating my protein first and not pairing a lot of carbs with my food. And the hardest part of that is that I'm a foods teacher, and there were a couple of failures this week. One was today. We had our protein lab, which I was really excited about because it was all protein. I had a group make meatballs. I had a group make lamb chops. I had a group make lettuce wraps. So it was healthy stuff that I could eat and enjoy. Yeah, and one group made pork pot stickers. Those were not so healthy. They were fried, and they had the wonton wrapper, and I ate way too many of those, and those carbs did not need to go in my mouth, but they did. It happened. The other thing that I was promising myself is that I wanted to be in the gym at least 3 days this week. Previously, I had not been getting in the gym as much as I needed to. I will say this week I made it in twice, not 3 times. It is a step in the right direction, but I definitely need to make the gym more of a priority this upcoming week. So we will see how that goes. The other thing that I want to talk about was a really cool NSV that I had this week, and that I went shopping. Y'all, when I say I go shopping at like Goodwill. Okay, I'm just saying. These clothes aren't fitting me but a couple of months, and I'm not wasting my money buying full retail. So anyway, I went shopping to Goodwill. My daughter was with me, and she's like, hey, these are cute. And she pointed to some capris that were like khakis. We were in the large section for some crazy reason, and they were a size 12. And I was like, no, Lily, I'm not going to try those on. They're too small. And then I thought, no, it's okay if they're too small, but let's just see. Well, that let's just see turned into a little happy dance in the Goodwill bathroom or Goodwill changing room, because they fit, they zipped, they were great. I barely even had a muffin top with them on. And so those little cute khaki capris came home with me, and they are a size 12, and that is super cool. Also this week, as I was putting on clothes, I just am having a harder and harder time finding shirts that fit because my shoulders are narrowing so much that shirts are falling off my shoulders, and I'm a teacher. I can't have my bra strap hanging out all the time. So that's cool. Also, one size 18 and a couple of my size 16s are getting way too loose on me, and I'm going to need to, I will definitely be wearing a size 14 or a size 12 from here on out. I'm definitely out of the 2X's and into the 1X's and the larges and that kind of stuff. I'm definitely also needing a new bra because this one's getting super loose on me. So all of those things are cool. Another NSV that I had this week is that a girl that I work with is having surgery. She's having bypass this summer, and she came in my room the other day during planning and just sat down and unloaded and asked a lot of questions, and it was so great being able to just talk to her openly about my procedure and the successes that I've had, the struggles that I've had, and answer her questions and ease her mind and kind of give her some advice and so forth. And that was just really great because I want to help people have the same successes that I've had, and I think that that is super cool. Another NSV is I walked in another teacher's classroom earlier this week, and one of my previous students who thinks it's hilarious to call me Kells. He's a senior, and he's, so cool. He thinks he can get away with it, which I kind of let him get away with it. And he looked at me, he said, Kells, you are slimming down. And I was like, whoa, thanks, Brent. Because my students, they may notice, but they don't say anything if they do notice. But it was great to have that reassurance from a student who hasn't seen me in, a month or two, that my body is changing pretty drastically. So that's super awesome. I will say that I've had a lot of encouragement from my husband this week about, the positive changes in my body, and that's been really awesome. And so it's been really great having him to continue encouraging me and so forth. So anywho, I need to say this one other NSV. Did I don't think I said it on another video. Well, if I did, sorry, it's a repeat. So last week when I went to the gym, there was a guy a row ahead of me on the equipment who looked familiar. I knew who he was. And he kind of kept looking back at me, kind of wondering, do I recognize her, do I not recognize her? This is a guy I went to college with. I haven't seen him in 10 plus years. And I wasn't going to speak to him because I wasn't sure if he recognized me or would remember me or whatever. So I'm running on the treadmill doing my intervals with C to 5K, and I get a Facebook message from him, and it said, "Are you at Planet Fitness right now?" ? And I said, "Yes, I am." And he's like, "Well, I'm here with my wife, and I would like for you to meet her. I didn't recognize you." And then the next message totally cracked me up. It says, "Wow, you look really thin." And I'm thinking, I have never looked really thin in my entire life. He knew me 10 years ago when I was at my smallest, which was still 20, 30 pounds heavier than what I am right now. I was probably 225 pounds or so in college. And so that was super cool. He said in his message that he did not recognize me. Like, he had to do a double and a triple take, and he still wasn't sure if it was me. So that was really cool. Then again, I've also aged 10 years since college. Maybe I've only aged a few years, but it's been 10 years. So anyway, that was a super cool kind of moment. So it was good to kind of meet up with him and catch up for a few minutes before we went our separate ways at the gym. But anyway, I just hope everyone's having a great week. I'm really hoping for a better weight loss this week. I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it's also not cool to be losing only 1.5 pounds. So I'm trying to keep myself accountable. I've been tracking. I've been watching what I've been putting in my mouth, and hopefully I can make some continual better choices to stay in the losing zone and not in this stalled out zone. So anyway, I hope you have a great week, and I'm continuing to watch your videos and love you guys so much, and you're awesome. We'll see you next time. Bye.